Yep, that seems like a perfectly okay height to dangle from for absolutely no apparent reason whatsoever. Let's go. The infamous Season 24. None of the 4 stories in this season are exactly up there with Pyramids of Mars, I think, for most fans. I'm just going to be going through them quickly now. If you're interested in seeing what I think of every other episode of the classic series, click up in the corner now and there'll be a link to the playlist of every other season review up until season 24. So obviously I'm going to be starting with Tal Nirani. I thought it was very, very disrespectful what the BBC did. I think it's common knowledge now for most Doctor Who fans. The show wasn't going their way and they needed a scapegoat, so they blamed Colin Baker. And it wasn't his fault, he was a very good doctor. For some reason they had to feel like they had to recast it, and obviously Colin didn't want to come back just for regeneration when he was going to get the sack. And you know, that's perfectly understandable. So they had to dress Sylvester McCoy up in a blonde wig and it looked awful. I love the new titles. Obviously the regeneration was a pre-title sequence, they just got straight into it. I love the new titles. I know a lot of people don't like them. I really do. It feels like they're going on an actual journey. Sylvester McCoy is a very good doctor. I think he establishes himself very well in this story. Despite it not being an amazing story, he still does make the role his own by the end of it, and that's something that a lot of doctors struggle to do in their first story, I think. Especially Colin strangling his companion. And as I was watching it, I just couldn't help but think of the fact that Sylvester McCoy is a very small man.
Very small man!
Overall, Tal Nirani was okay. It's quite underrated, I think, in general. A lot of people really, really dislike it. I just think it's, you know, whatever. Just get on with it. I think the worst bit about it is the disrespect the BBC showed to Colin Baker, but, you know. Paradise Towers. This is a story that I've never seen before, and I was not happy with it. It was just boring. The only thing I did like was the fact that Pex, he started off really cringy, really comical, really like cringy in general, but by the end his death was very heroic and he died trying to prove himself, and I thought that was really good. But that's the only thing I actually liked about Paradise Towers. The whole story is really dull, it was uninteresting, it didn't excite me at all. But in fairness, it was, I suppose, nice seeing all these different types of people coming together. But yeah, overall it was pretty shit. Delta and the Bannermen, again, a story that I've not seen in quite a while, and I don't remember liking it that much, but I really did enjoy it this time. It was different compared to what I'm used to in 1980s Doctor Who. The comedy really worked, it was quite comedic, but it did work. Sylvester McCoy was absolutely astonishing in this story. That bit at the end of part 1 or part 2, I'm not sure, where he's right in the face of that bloke, got his name. That is just really, really doctory, and I really like how confident he was. I am interested to know though, would bees sting you if you were covered in honey? But yeah, it was a really enjoyable story, no matter whether bees can or can't sting you when you've covered in honey. I enjoyed it anyway. And then Dragonfire. So this was the return of Sabalon Glitz. Obviously he was last seen in Trial of a Time Lord, so only last season, and I do think he's a lot better in this story. Ace is in it. This is Ace's first story, and I love Ace. She's Ace. The creature that worked for the Doctor is just hilarious. I couldn't help but laugh when it just went for the Doctor as he sort of, I don't know what that is. I've got absolutely no idea why the Doctor just went over the edge of that ice cliff thing for absolutely no apparent reason whatsoever. And that mum that was looking for a child for the whole story, what sort of a mum is that? I do not understand how Ace is only 16 years old. She looks like 25. How is she only 16 is younger than me? Kane melting was really, really gruesome, and I really like that. And despite not liking Mel's character, when she ended up leaving at the end, it wasn't exactly necessary, it just sort of came out of nowhere. But it was quite sad to see her go. And overall, I think the story is quite underrated. Again, it's not up there with Pyramids of Mars or anything like that, but it is quite good for what it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. That's the season in a nutshell. I think Sylvester McCoy is a very, very good Doctor. I think in this season he really established himself as the Doctor, which is something, as I said, a lot of Doctors seem to struggle with in at least their first season. So it's really, really like, it shows a lot that he established himself after that short period of time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave it a like, and subscribe to my channel for more quality Doctor Who content just like this. And yeah, so see ya.